Welcome back to Retail Therapy. My name's Will DeFreeze. Barrett Dudley, how we doing today?
I'm doing all right, just here enjoying the vernal equinox, I believe. Is it the vernal? No? Summer equinox? What is that's the spring equinox. Producer Randy, what is this? What's the summer equinox called?
It's called the summer equinox.
Summer equinox. There you go. There's the scientific.
Is that today?
It's the 20th of June.
Okay.
Yeah. Summer solstice.
Maybe I was going to say, what's that solstice do?
It's the summer solstice. It's the summer solstice.
Okay. We used to play in a soccer tournament called the summer solstice. That was over the summer solstice. But I never really knew what that meant. I never really paid attention too much. Does that mean our days are getting shorter?
That means that we are about to hit peak, or we have now hit peak day.
Okay.
And yeah, the days will slowly but surely begin to get shorter.
That's pretty depressing
from here on out. Yeah. But that means that the time to really start dressing is just around the corner, pretty much.
I am having more trouble dressing right now than I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I took a lot. I don't feel like I've made as many spring purchases lately as I have in the past. And I feel like the spring purchases that I have made have been much more staple driven than dressing driven.
Right.
And so I've just kind of found myself at a weird spot. I have acquired one shirt that's gone immediately into the rotation, and it's been doing really well for me. It was an every other Thursday shirt. We had Ethan Glenn on the pod when Barrett was out one time. Mm-hmm. And he's got this new kind of knit polo, and I received that, and that's been immediately in the rotation, not coming out. But as far as going out shirts, kind of in a desert right now.
Well, we might touch on a little bit of that here in a minute.
Okay.
But what it sounds like to me is that I think it's time to treat yourself. Maybe to that pair of Belgian loafers you've been eyeballing.
No. So I'm currently trying to have the movement in play called the normalized Belgians movement, where you can just wear your Belgians anywhere,
right?
Without kind of looking like a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tough because if I want to wear my Belgians to a nice event, they need to look nice. But if I want to, really make this movement take off, where people are wearing their nice loafers in casual occasions, I can't just be beating these things up all the time. I don't have a go-to shoe shiner.
Well, that's why you need the brown pair.
I know. Ever since the price hike, though, I'm scared.
The black pair is for the dressier occasions,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some special events, special dinners. Brown pair, you just, you break those bad boys out. You let them get a little patina.
I was on a website last night.
Do anything you want in them.
I was on a website last night that I don't think you're going to like, Barrett.
Okay.
It's called SperryTopsider.com.
Oh, no. Okay. All right.
Sperry Topsider.
Keep talking.
Sperry Topsider Gold Cups used to cost $175 when boat shoes were really all the rage.
Right.
They're up over the 300 mark at this point.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
While I had no intent of actually buying any Sperry Topsiders, I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? I could just zag super hard right now and do this.
And just go all in on on a boat shoe?
Yeah, because no one in Austin's going all in on boat shoes. I'm sure there's some section of the...
Todd Snyder himself is vouching.
Oh, I know.
You know what Todd Snyder said? He said, boat shoes, they're kind of valid.
Dude, they got aura. These things they have such a valid aura about them.
You're right. I don't like that you were just just casually perusing, because now I'm fully expecting boat shoes on fall's in list over coming from your
Here's
side.
the thing. There are zero guarantees that they will not be on my in list. It's entirely possible.
See, I don't know about you, but around these parts in 2005, 2006, your boy would get the memo that the boat shoes were in, but he wouldn't all the way read the memo fully, and he would show up in the billfish.
Yeah,
and you would just have to shake your head at this guy. Just not, this is not it. What are you about to take somebody out on a deep sea marlin fish?
Oh yeah. Hand up. I did have a pair of these at one point. While I started off with a lot of the classics, I eventually tried to do those at one point.
Yeah.
And it was a mistake. I couldn't wait to slide out of those and into another pair of classics. It was not the best. Those, out of all the boat shoes that you could buy, those ones by far smelled the worst.
Okay.
The rankest. If we were having a party at my buddy's place, That entryway just smelled like dank boat shoe.
Yeah.
And because we just had a bunch of billfishes just chilling there.
I mean, was this in Michigan though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So things were different in the north. This is very. This is all very regional, right? Like, so maybe billfishes were hitting different at Miami of Ohio.
Oh well, half the people at the party were probably walking from the boat that they worked on during the summer up to the party. So they had a legitimate case use for it. But I just don't know, man. I don't know if I'm ready for my feet to enter the boat shoe world again. I think they're gonna have to maybe wait.
Yeah,
but
maybe we can start by getting like some driving loafers in the mix, maybe a little Cole Haan action.
But like if like someone like Belgian made a boat shoe, like my tune would change immediately based on the brand equity that they have with me.
Right, well, that's fair.
Yeah, my biggest fear is that Sally's trying to get a pair before we go to Italy because she's like she thinks mine are good looking. She likes women in them.
Wait, boat shoes or Belgians?
Belgian.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like I don't. I'd rather just pay for the vacation with that money. We'll see. I don't think it's gonna happen. What's that look, Randy?
I don't know. I was just drinking my water.
just having a fun water sip. Retailpod.substack.com. Go subscribe. It's all right there right now. You can also watch these episodes at youtube.com/Sunday Scaries podcast and at retail.pod on Instagram. We do have scented candles in stock right now. We've got our first retail therapy one. And Barrett, I got a little surprise for you out on my desk right now. It's a bunch of samples that we get to go through for version 2.
Very cool.
Summary scent.
Very cool.
We've got some very fresh summery scents in the mix after doing a wintry one. So keep an eye out for that. It's probably going to happen later summer. But we officially have samples in our hands. I'm very excited. Should be a good time. But without further ado, let's hear from our friends at Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million order stage, Shopify is there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented candles or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. They help you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to the leading commerce platforms, and you can sell more with less effort thanks to the Shopify's Magic AI-powered all-star tool. It's just an incredible platform. It's so easy to create the website, so easy to sell products and fulfill orders and just contact your customers. We've been working behind the scenes on our first ever retail therapy hat that will be sold on a Shopify hosted site.
There it is.
I don't love breaking that out, while talking about something else, but it is exciting. And if you're going to get one, just know it's going through Shopify. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/scaries. That's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/scaries now to grow your business. So no matter what stage you're in, go to shopify.com/scaries. I don't know about your social feed right now, Barrett, but mine is absolutely full of Paul Mescal's thighs. I feel like my face is just buried in the thighs. Thank you, Randy. I told Randy before this episode, I was like, Randy, you better get that gong ready.
Yeah. This definitely made its way onto my feed. No fewer than 3 or 4 times. And before you even texted me about it, I almost just like reposted it to my story. Just calling Paul just an absolute slut for this one,
This is the sluttiest thing.
So slutty. This is slutty.
This is the sluttiest thing any man has done in recent memory.
You'll note, and I promise you he was coached to do this, but every photo that he took, he made sure to pull the shirt up around the shorts, slide his pockets in his waist, just so you get that little triangle of happy trail abdomen right there. And that one was for the, that's for the onlookers.
His thighs are nothing new to us, okay? We've seen these before. He goes on runs. He runs away from women in parks in these things, like with these things. It's just something he does.
Look, I know that Paul is a proper Irish lad and does not think about things in the same way that I do. But as somebody that looked at himself in the mirror last night and said, tomorrow morning, you are reapplying your self-tanner. I do wish that
you are reapplying lock-in.
I do wish that Paul was like, a little bit more glowed up for this. Like he's looking a little pink here.
Well, I mean, he is Irish. He is Irish. You're right.
I know. But I do feel he's like a little washed out here. And I don't, he's kind of giving me like the shorts are obviously kind of part of this like boxer short trend that we're mostly seeing from women, but now obviously, men can adopt as well. Thanks to Paul blazing the trail. But I don't know yeah. Do you not, you don't feel me a little bit like wouldn't this have just been a little sexier?
No, I get it.
If he looked like he had just spent a few hours or a few days in the sun.
Here's the thing. To me, this is a July-August fit, not a June fit.
Okay.
This is a midsummer. We've got our reps in. We're cruising. We're casual. Like, we don't know what it feels like to be at the office past noon. Like, this to me is a later summer fit. And yeah, he might have he might have let it go a little too early. And a little glow would have probably helped.
It's kind of like when the spring summer stuff, it starts dropping in February, March, April, and you pull trig because you can't wait. But then you're trying it on and you still have your winter bod and your winter color.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get the base tan. You got to get some rep. Like you said, you got to get a few reps in before you start pulling this stuff out.
In Northern Michigan, growing up there, I mean, the first day of short season was just blinding. It's not a good time. It's much more doable down here, and I assume it's the same in New York or Dublin or wherever you may be. Did you happen to see the tweet yesterday that was just a video of a snake pulling at someone's gym shorts on a park bench? in the caption, a young lady captioned it, "Me when I see Paul Mescal on a run." And I was like, yeah, that checks out. He did hit him with the shades.
Hit him with the shades in this one. Yeah.
Okay, so what do we think these inseams are? They're not 5.
Well, this is like a 2-inch inseam.
I was like
3 max.
3 max for me. I would say 3. Like it's not a 5. We know that.
Let's see him in action. Let's see him in action a little bit. Let's see some movement on these things.
They're short.
Yeah, they're very short.
They're short. So, okay. I'm going to work from the bottom up real quick.
All right.
Okay. So this look, the black loafers with some white socks.
This is a Gucci look, by the way. This is all
Gucci.
Full Gucci. Yeah.
And this was the Gucci show, correct?
Right.
Okay. And so this was really done a lot last summer by a lot of female celebrities all the time. I don't know how much I enjoy it translating over to men, even though I think it's like, I do like the idea of it, but like, I don't know if men need to be doing this all the time. I think we really got to choose our spots. I think we're in real danger of this catching on and people showing up to a group dinner and it's just a bunch of dudes wearing white socks and black loafers. And that worries me a little bit because I don't think that's going to be good for anybody. And so like, I just want us to all be careful here that like, if one person in your friend group is doing it, he gets it now. That's him.
Yeah.
Like, I want us to be careful. And you also have to have the freshest white socks if you're going to be doing
Very
this.
fresh white socks. Yeah.
I don't want to see the heel coming out of the back of that because it's been stretched out on the golf course. Like, I don't want to see, I want these to be fresh white socks.
These need to be like some pristine Pantherellas or something like that. Yeah. This is, the trends, they move so fast now. TikTok, there's the new whatever it is every week, every month, every day. And so I almost feel like this little fitty here is like, it's like there was the long shorts, baggy shorts backlash to the short shorts. And this is already the backlash to the big shorts where it's like, oh, no. You think short shorts are over? Look at these 1-inchers. We're putting this guy in boxer briefs, basically.
I don't think you were ever privy to the conversation in a former office of ours at Grandex, which famously was the parent company for a website called Total Frat Move.
Yeah.
And there was an ongoing bit within the office that we were going to do a fake product that were the most frat shorts ever, and they had a 0-inch inseam.
They're just booty shorts for dudes.
We just joked about it all the time. Yeah. I mean, here, like, what I've kind of decided in my own personal style journey in life is that I just like pants. I like having my legs covered. I enjoy pants at this point. Living in somewhere like a hot area, I'd just rather be wearing pants most of the time, unless I'm like, hanging out at home. And so I've already accepted that I'm never going to truly feel cool in shorts no matter what. And so when it comes to the trends of them, I'm not going to glue myself to it at this point.
Yeah.
And so he's validating me in a big way right now because all the shorts that I have are shorter than most. I probably get more comments of like, oh yeah, short shorts, huh? And I'm like, short shorts. But
people have been saying that you're leg twins with Paul Mescal.
Dude, please sign me up. He's got better quality. He's got better everything than me. I had a period of my life. I've had 2 periods in my life. I had a period where I decided to start doing leg press all the time. prepping for summer.
Yeah.
And my legs looked pretty good that summer.
Okay.
I also had, during my Peloton spree, that's when I really got to have some nice looking legs. And that's unfortunately gone away. The muscle has dissipated a bit. And so maybe I'll use him as my legspiration this summer.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put a photo of him up on in front of my Peloton and just stare at this photo for the entirety.
While I appreciate what Paul's doing here, and I think it's a very, it made waves the way that it was supposed to. When I look at the bones of the fit, I pun potentially intended.
If he sits right.
What's good about it, and like when I think about how we would pull it off in our own way, is it boils down to just like a very basic. I don't like this description, but people will know what I'm talking about, so I'm going to use it anyway. It's a coastal old money look.
Yeah.
Right. It's a pair of like shorter pleated shorts with Belgians or espadrilles or like some type of tiny shoe. We love a tiny shoe here. And then a breezy shirt. Paul's Gucci one here is kind of like a almost like a dress shirt is the look, but for me, this is going to be like a linen or or a breezy cotton. I want this to be very, very beachy, very vacationy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
If I was on vacation and it was like we just got down at the beach, people were getting ready to go to dinner. I'm kind of bored. I'm like, I'm gonna go into town real quick and grab something. And I saw like a mom hop out of her vacation car and run into the grocery store, and she was wearing this. I'd be like, oh, that's a good errand running fit for a mom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think wearing it as a guy, it puts out a different vibe, and you can wear it to a Gucci show. But I did see a lot of criticism from people saying like, you can't show up like this to a Gucci show. You got to look a little more high class than that. Like not high class, but like you have to look a little more dressed up than that. But like, dude, he's a baby girl. He can literally do whatever he wants, and we still love him. That's the point.
Would you like some lower end dupes?
Yeah, I do. I asked Barrett last night. I was like, we need to recreate this fit for under $250. I don't think it's possible.
I've got some really. Yeah, I don't know if the entire fit under $250 is possible.
No,
but I
it's
do
not.
have some alternatives that will not hit your wallet the same way that the Gucci numbers will. First, for the shirt, I've got this Everlane relaxed poplin shirt.
Okay.
Now the reviews are not great, but it sounds like almost all the bad reviews are from some short kings that didn't like how long it was.
Okay.
But this dude's on sale for $35 right now, full size run. I'll put a link in the digest in the Substack. But this is the Everlane relaxed poplin shirt.
That's a very good alternative.
Yeah. This one I think I like even more, but it will cost you more. This one's from Frame, and this is the relaxed cotton shirt in light blue. Both of these, there's some keys here that I was looking for. I wanted a shirt that kind of gave dress shirt, but crucially had that pocket, because that makes it a little more casual. You can slide your cash or your sunglasses or whatever into it.
Yeah.
If you start looking around and you get into the business casual side of things, like all that's too sleek. There's nothing. They've eliminated the pockets on most of those shirts, and you don't want that super tailored fit for this look anyway. So those are my two shirt options for you. And the shorts, I didn't get as much time to hunt for shorts, but I did have this one pull. This is a pair from ASOS.
Oh, those are good alternatives.
They kind of have the boxer look, right? Now, if you want to go full Mescal, then you probably will need to take these to the tailor and have a couple inches whacked off of them. But overall, kind of in that same vein, you're looking for a short boxer adjacent, cotton-based short here.
I mean, here's like you and I both have a pair of shorts that could easily fit into this very well. Yeah, and like now all I want to do is just get them, just chop and screw those things into oblivion so we can get some thigh action going, because right now it's a wide leg opening for me.
Yeah.
But I have been enjoying those shorts.
Yeah. The loafers, I mean, you know where to go. Just pull up Bass.
Yeah, just figure it out.
GH Bass.
Yeah.
Hit eBay. Black loafers. Obviously, he's wearing a very classic pair of Gucci bit loafers. But,
get some of those gel Band-Aids for your heels for the next day.
That's right. You will need those. You will need those.
Yep. Those things have saved me so many times at weddings. Hit the rehearsal dinner, hit it a little too hard, wake up the next morning, it's like, oh man, now I got to put on my tux shoes. It's over. It's going to be terrible. Well, Paul, we appreciate you.
We do.
We appreciate you. He's really starting off a summer with a splash right now. I'm happy about this.
Whenever Paul hits the timeline, you know it's on and popping.
We're gonna see a ton of him with Gladiator in the works. We got his whatever he's doing with Daisy Edgar Jones. I mean, he's not going away anytime soon. JJJJound, a company we've talked about numerous times, a company that I almost feel like their stock is up with us as opposed to where it was.
Maybe. Yeah.
They're a Canadian company. If you're not familiar with them, they make a lot of very, for the lack of a better word, I don't want to use this word, but basic things. They look very basic. They look very simplistic. They're very honed in and well done. And a lot of people love them or obsessed with them. A lot of people think that it's overblown because they're not doing enough. And I think they've gotten some equity with us over the last few drops that they've done. And I'm not kidding when I say that yesterday was truly jaw-dropping when I was on the timeline. And I saw that, I saw a post about Adidas Originals doing something with Jose Mourinho, who is a very famous manager for a lot of different teams that he's been with all over the map, including, my club, Manchester United. But he's one of the most entertaining guys in soccer. Like, he's just hilarious.
Give me an American sports comp.
Okay. Pat Riley.
Okay.
Like, he's hardcore. He's a winner. All he cares about is winning, and he'll win ugly. He'll win whatever. He bops around a lot.
Yeah, but is he also kind of Belichickian in the fact that he's washed up and is coaching like a Turkish team now?
Yeah, like
what's up with that?
So he just kind of burns bridges wherever he goes.
Okay.
I get the sense that he really has respect for big clubs and historic clubs, and so going to Galatasaray in Turkey is a historic club with a crazy fan base, and so I almost think he knows the benefit of his brand and career. It will go up if he is a manager of these really like kind of legendary clubs. And I think that goes into it. He even went there from AS Roma, which like isn't the sexiest of jobs if you want to, be in the headlines all the time. I also think he might be setting himself up for possibly trying to get an international job before the USA World Cup, because I think being a coach in the USA for a World Cup is going to put a lot of eyes on you no matter what.
Right.
And going to a smaller, lesser known club like Galatasaray versus other places, it does set you up okay.
Yeah, so he's been tapped obviously for this campaign, kind of in a what I'll describe as a Kithian way, right?
Oh yeah,
with old guy, older gentleman.
I wonder if that had anything to do with it. I didn't really think about that until you just said it.
Kind of flexing, and I wasn't quite. You told me this was huge for you that Mourinho was repping Jound, basically, that they had gotten him. And so that while that doesn't resonate in the same way for me, if it resonated for you, then I'm sure it is for many, many, many other soccer fans. And I feel like the comments, bore that out.
Getting a manager to get a sneaker deal of any sort is kind of interesting. Jound getting Jose Mourinho, it's just two things that are so on the opposite side of the spectrum that it's almost hard for me to fathom how it even came into play, obviously through Adidas. But I just wonder, did the guys at Jound say can we get Jose Mourinho? Or is it, I would love to know how this all went down, just because it's so kind of out there to me. Yeah. But I love it. The shoes for me, I'm not going to buy them.
Yeah, same. And I kind of feel like this is, they're kind of a letdown after the we just got through talking about what Jound does is perfect things that are all that are kind of already perfect, right? They just dial it up 5% or whatever it is. And so that first drop of the Jambas and the kind of classic OG black and white, to me, were like a very, very, very well done version of exactly what it is that Jound sets out to do. So to do this kind of tan pair is just kind of, it feels like a very clear step down to me.
Can I say something a little insulting about these?
Yeah.
They kind of remind me of a shoe that the dude in high school who smoked a lot of weed would have walked in wearing.
Okay, yeah.
He wanted the crunchiest version possible of the Samba. He didn't want the regular soccer Samba. He's like, no, I'm going to get these kind of suede ones that signal that I probably have weed in my car.
Well, potentially a reason that you're thinking that is because in those early to mid 2000s, all of the skate brands were doing at least one colorway of the of the signature shoes that were in like this like very caramelly brown tan suede version. And and if the crunch you were, like the more like the browner your skate shoes were, I feel like.
I had a pair of, they were my favorite skate shoes I ever had. I had a pair of ES or Ace, whatever you want to say. I say ES, everyone says ES. Eric Costin 3s. And they were in this suede kind of dark, like this brown color. And I just was in love with them. Like I cherished them every time I got to wear them. So this is the silhouette of the Costin 3. It was very basketball shoey. He was a big Lakers guy.
Yeah.
And so he had like, I think he even had a Lakers shoe. It was this color. It wasn't that shoe. They were harder to find. Go back actually one. See that first shoe on there? It's very light. The very first one. No, the very first one. Yeah. It was these. And like, these didn't give stoner as much as the other ones do. But like, it was just this like light kind of brownish. Oh, when I walked in first day of school, I just felt like I was the toast of the town. I was in love with these things. What, Randy?
Just if you're watching on YouTube, the framing of those shots, whoever took the pictures, like, what are you doing? This is the worst photos I've ever seen.
What size are these?
Like, we cut out everything.
I don't know, but somebody wants a lot of money for them.
I know. I mean, dude, these were some of the best. Like the Costin 3s were some of the most legendary skate shoes that were released. Yeah. I had them in, I think, 3 different colors. I had those. I had 2 pairs of whites, one with blue trim and one with red. And I just was head over. I still love them. If you're wondering how much the Jambas are costing you these days, if you're in kind of the normal retail therapy dude sizing range, you're going to pay about $300 minimum for them. When it comes to fees to everything, which actually I thought I thought they actually might be more, given that weren't they 200, 220?
Like I think with tax and shipping, you were already close to 300.
I shouldn't be impressed that they're only $100 more than what they were, but I guess it makes sense. Honestly, if they ever start dipping to retail, I think I would actually pull trig on them again. But it's kind of a weird whole situation. Like I'm more impressed than anything with just the fact that they all did this collaboration and it worked, and that Jose Mourinho is actually willing to go like do a photo shoot for something like this,
because he's kind of crusty,
he's a crusty guy. One of his most famous Instagram posts was from a recent game for Roma, where it was him sitting on the bus looking forward, and it just said like, terrible game, see everyone at training ground tomorrow at 6 a.m. or something. It's just like, you could just send a text to the team.
You know who JJJJound should get next is Keith McNally.
Oh my God. Dude, get that guy a sneaker collab. That's a great idea. I think we should just do old men random sneaker collabs now. Yeah. Keith McNally would be outrageous. Be the restaurant shoe.
Maybe we can get him for something and just have him do like just a post, and he just like screams in all caps in the caption about it.
If the throwing fits guys need to hone in on this and do it themselves. They could make this happen at this point. Oh God, he's been having he said he said yesterday on or maybe a couple days ago on Instagram that he likes to unwind after a long flight with a martini and 12 oysters.
Okay.
I was like, damn, that's much different than what I do. I usually go by Popeyes on the route home. Crush that on the way home. Last week we talked Noah and their collaboration with Timex. It sold out in literally about 30 seconds.
Yes.
The watch was about $198. Seemed like a really good. It did not seem like it. It was a great deal. It's a great price for a watch that looks like that from 2 companies that are cool enough to justify, charging a lot more. I kind of soured on it after it sold out in 30 seconds, and then they sent a text follow up that said like, "Hey, we're making more. You can get it by December now." And then they sent another text
that pre-sale, that first initial pre-sale. Also sold out
10 minutes,
10, 15, 20 minutes, like very, very quick again.
Now, has the second pre-sale sold out again?
I've not looked because, not to bury the lead, but I'm not waiting a year.
I'm not doing it
for that.
The second pre-sale text, I got it, and I was like, are they just sending a reminder from the first one? I was like, nope, this is another one. And it said it would be that they would ship in April 2025.
Right.
And if I know anything about these kind of companies, and by these kind of companies, I mean menswear companies in New York City, if they say they're going to ship something by April 2025, there's not a guarantee it's shipping by April 2025.
That's correct.
You can just go read some Amélie on Door comments, and you will know that some sneakers are probably still not delivered.
Yeah, pre-orders are always tough, and nothing is a guarantee when it comes to global manufacturing and freight. So it's that was a no for me. They did try to illuminate that they were overwhelmed by by the demand for this watch, and then they did go on to explain that the reason why they are having trouble making more, why they can't just easily do it, is because the complication, both literally and figuratively, was with the little sun moon dial. Timex had discontinued that little piece, basically. That gear, that whatever, that function.
Yeah.
And so they basically reached back out to them, got them to agree to make one more round of it. But that's why it's a 1 year pre-order, is because they were basically going back, building the entire watch again for this very specific number. But yeah, I don't need to wait a year for it.
So they just had no faith in this watch from the beginning.
Right. Which I mean, to what we were talking about a week or two ago, is like, it's not that surprising. Like I know that the friend of the pod, James, was keen on this watch, but like, I wasn't checking for it. I didn't even know it was coming out. I think that one of the things that I think happened is that all these cook groups and monitors and bot boys basically like flagged, because they can sometimes get access to the numbers. They saw that there were only 30 of them. So
Crazy.
That's an easy, like, oh, we can just buy all of them, have all the stock. And like when you see numbers that low, that's just an automatic, oh shit, we'll just take these.
Let's buy the stock.
And then control the price on them. So that's kind of, I think that's kind of what happened, is that this was supposed to be like this really super niche, like little thing. And then it just kind of exploded.
Yeah.
I did get served by the Algo earlier this week a reel from a guy that I think was at some watch show, because people were like showing off like watches on each wrist. But all that to say, like, the other piece of this is that style of watch, pretty much anything inspired by or similar to a Cartier tank, right? Like, that is absolutely what people want right now, is these like very thin, low profile, kind of daintier watches. It looks like a lot of guys are just wearing straight up like women's watches, to achieve the look. So it's in that regard, it's not shocking that this thing, had juice.
If you're working at Cartier Men right now, and you're seeing this happen, this is going down, are you like, okay, this is great for us? Like,
yes,
this watch sold out so fast, and now suddenly the interest is picked, the thirst is forming. Like, we might have some tanks going out the door this season.
Yes.
Just you and I. Last night I was in bed and I was thinking about the Noah watch, and I was like, I'm gonna go just window shop and look at watches. Sure enough, found myself on the Cartier site, and then I walked into the studio right before we recorded. Barrett's on the exact same webpage. I was like, "What are you doing? Are you trolling me right now?" It's just one of those things. Like, I'm not a watch guy. I wish I could be. A lot of people have reached out to Sunday Scaries and Retail Therapy, being like, "Are you guys ever going to do a watch episode?" And like, we would need a straight up watch expert in here, and I would want that watch expert to have watches with him that he could show us and explain. And I would want like a cameraman in here, like zooming in on the stuff.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
Have you ever watched those Hodinky videos and stuff?
Yeah.
Like they've done several with John Mayer, but they do them with a lot of celebrities, and they are really interesting to me because I think it's a cool thing. But for my buying habits and for the way that I dress and everything that I do, a watch is just never something that's in my rotation. But I've also just not ever worn one, and so I don't have the need to go out and figure out how to get a nice watch. I had this in articles of interest, but it actually kind of pertains to this because Gen Z and just like the bro culture of, crypto trading and that kind of thing has really made watches and other products that, attract men of high net worth. They're all skyrocketing. And like they point out, this is from After School by Casey Lewis, an absolutely phenomenal newsletter. On Substack, it says roughly 94% of Gen Z and millennial investors are interested in collecting items such as watches, rare cars, and sneakers, according to a new survey of wealthy Americans by Bank of America Corp. And like, where do you stand on parking your money, not in like a fund, but in like a product that will probably appreciate rather than depreciate?
I think that it's really nice to be able to buy something luxurious and kind of have the peace of mind that kind of, unlike a car, and I don't mean one of these rare cars that's mentioned in the Bloomberg article, but like, famously you drive your new Volvo or Chevy off the lot, and like the price immediately drops by 35% or something insane like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice that you can buy a watch that's super expensive and know that price is at the very least going to like hold steady, or that you'll be able to get a vast majority of your money back, or that it could potentially appreciate and increase given what you buy. Having said that, I think that in like shunning real investments and IRAs and retirements and Vanguards and whatever, like S&P 500, money mutual markets, whatever it might be, for investments in
for Johns
and sneakers and cars and all of that is kind of insane. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always thought it's baller when people do it. But like, I also assume that people that do that have so much money that they're doing both.
Yes, exactly.
And then I also am the type of person that if I buy something that's this nice, I'm going to form an emotional connection with this thing to the point where you are never taking it from my dead hands. Like, like you could be changing the locks on my house because you're taking it away, and I'm going to be clinging to my Picasso that I stupidly invested all my money in. Because like that would be something that would be like I'd be too obsessed with it.
This just also screams like this is about Gen Z investors, right?
Yeah. This is the young investors.
It screams being young, because I think we've been around for long enough to watch all of these bubbles pop, whether it's like basketball cards or Pogs or sneakers or like whatever it is. Like these are bubbles, and then like when it's over, like only like the tippy top of that iceberg like holds any value whatsoever, and everything else is just is kind of worthless after that.
If stock market wasn't a thing, retirement wasn't a thing, but you wanted to stow some money away in a material item, like what expensive avenue would you want to go down?
Water.
Just water.
Got to get on that water. That's what's going to be in short supply pretty soon.
Okay, that is not baller, Barrett. I wanted you to say like,
I'm going art.
Yeah.
That seems like that's the most interesting kind of unique asset class to me is some of those, and I can't remember any of the names right now, but there are some funds that like let you invest in, like a Picasso original or whatever with a bunch of other people, thousands of other people.
Yeah.
And then that it's like a fund that like, I don't know, it's like purchasing something from Sotheby's. And then, did I say that right? I remember.
Sotheby's. I was just thinking about Sotheby's while we were talking about this.
Yeah, same.
We did some work with them, and honestly,
we had a guest on.
Yeah. And I really enjoy. Like, I kind of want to reach out and be like, "Hey, I want to talk art more.
Yeah.
I want someone on here. Just auctions. Like, ever since those Grateful Dead auctions that I was doing, I've started going back to that auction house a lot and looking at their stuff. And like, I could see that being my old man hobby of just looking at all like auctions.
But yeah, like physical art from artists that quite literally cannot produce any more of it. It's
cool.
That feels pretty proven to me as in a way that's equal to regular stocks and bonds. It's like, the thing about a Rolex, right? It's like, doesn't matter who's making it as long as Rolex is making it.
Yeah.
And so they could at any given point in time decide, oh, that Paul Newman vintage that, sold for 3.7 million or whatever. We're going to make 500 more of them. We just feel like it. And then all of a sudden, like your value tanks, right? It's like, so that if I'm going real baller, if I'm entering into the baller asset class, I'm choosing art.
We were when we went to Scotland right before the world shut down due to the invisible enemy. We went to dinner at a hotel called the Fife Arms, and it was the first time I'd ever been somewhere that was not a museum that had a Picasso in it. And I just stood in front of it. And I was like, "This is pretty badass." Like I felt like such a brickhead, like just like being like, "Wow, that's a Picasso." It was kind of like, like wild just to be like, "Oh, okay." Like I've only seen these on like online and in museums, whatever. But seeing like a great artist's work, like just right in front of you, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, probably the only thing that eclipsed that for you is when we visited the Chive office and you got to see a real Banksy.
Oh, unfortunately, I never got the Chive invite. So I forgot they had the Banksy there. That is a wild thing to have in your office in Austin, Texas. Yeah. That is crazy. Yeah, I think I'm going art too, Barrett. I mean, I would love to have like one rare car, but I don't need more than one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
triples is best.
Yeah, triples is probably best. You're right. You're right. But like you said, like I mean, a car is like a thing. If a watch, I can pretty much keep that thing like on my wrist and looking okay for a while, and I can have someone clean it up. But if I had some rare car that I wanted to appreciate and value, I wouldn't have fun whipping that thing around the corners on a fall drive.
Yeah, you got to stash that thing in a warehouse, in a safe house.
What about Princess Diana Beanie Babies? My dad and I went all in on those back in the day. Didn't work out.
Yeah,
didn't
not
work
so
out.
much.
We still have them if everybody wants to buy them.
My parents actually they visited this past weekend. They brought a Beanie Baby up. It was from 1998. It's a dragon. It's called Scorch. I donated it to the Oysters, Clams, and Cockles studio.
Did it have a tag cover on it or not?
No tag cover.
Okay.
The tie tag is still intact, and no creases. I don't know if it's near mint, but it's pretty cherry.
We do. My dad owned a retail store that we could get Beanie Babies at cost, and we could get any ones we wanted. Like it was not an issue. And so he bought a bunch of Princess Diana ones when they were on sale, and he was like, "We're gonna be millionaires from this." And so we had like 10 of them, and like we still have a couple at our house. And I'm like, man, I would love if those skyrocketed in price again.
Honestly, tie Beanie Babies, they kind of like. Are they not the originators of like the drop model?
Yeah.
Do you not remember when like it would be like your mom would be on the phone with somebody and be like, Tuesday morning, just got a shipment?
No, Barrett. See, dude, I had the inside line, dude. My dad having that store, I would just come home. I would walk downtown after school, go in the back room, and there would just be boxes of them. Like, and it was crazy too, because that wasn't even something that my dad like sold at the store. Like, he didn't want to be a Beanie Baby dealer, but like they were, it was so crazy. And he already had the relationship with Tyler. I was like, well, I guess we're just having a Beanie Baby section in this store.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, they still had crazy expensive ones.
Were your friends mad jealous?
I think they reaped the benefits of it, if anything. But like, I would literally just walk into the store, grab one out of the big thing, and be like, "All right, I'm out."
Whole squad copping Beanie Babies,
dude. We never had
store.
the most expensive ones that I remember. There was a tie-dye one.
Yeah.
That one was really pricey. There was
it was a bear, right? A tie-dye bear.
Yep, tie-dye bear, which I'm sure Grateful Dead related, like whatever. And then, man, that one would have been cool to have back in the day if I would have known what I know now. They had one that was a green St. Patrick's Day one with a shamrock on it, but it was only worth something if like the shamrock was on the foot. And then they also had one that was a Red Bull that they called Tabasco that they got sued for it and had to rename the bull. But if you had one that said Tabasco on it was like the most expensive one. What a wild thing.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you could have been a millionaire.
Here's the thing. I know I had that. Like, I know I had that one. I'm positive.
This is a rare find.
It is a rare find.
A cool $42,000 for the OG 1996 tie-dye Peace Bear.
I mean, $46,000. $42,000. Depends. Do you pay tax on eBay? Are there fees on
Etsy?
eBay?
Yeah.
Got to be careful.
Yeah.
Damn, I did not think we were going to be talking Beanie Baby resale value today, but I'm glad we did. Let's talk Gwyneth Paltrow. She's the patron saint.
Always a welcome.
She's the patron saint of the Sunday Scaries podcast. She doesn't wiggle her way in here very often, but whenever she does something, I enjoy it.
She kind of inspired our gift guide.
For sure.
For
sure. No, her reach goes a long way in my brain. Even just yesterday, I was watching my favorite movie, the first 40 minutes of Talented Mr. Ripley.
Okay.
The whole movie's not my favorite, but the first 40 minutes are goated. But she did a little AMA on Instagram, and she asked, someone asked how to know if they're husband material, and she gave her criteria. Is he my best friend? Does he calm down my nervous system? Do I always think he's the smartest guy in the room? Do we have chemistry? Does he like oysters? And this got quote tweeted by a ton of people on my timeline of people being like, man, I'm way more in line with Gwyneth Paltrow than I ever imagined being. I don't think oysters are my love language, but I do think that this does shift the vibe a little bit for oysters, especially with Keith McNally yesterday talking about his post thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I could redo my list right now, I'm going oysters in right now for In and Out Summer 24.
Yeah, but see, Gwyneth, I'm sure knows that oysters, more for the months that have an R in them.
Well,
yeah.
Unless House of the Dragon just debuted. Because then it's time for oysters, clams, and cockles,
That's
baby.
true. That's true.
Hey, that's year round.
That can be consumed any month of the year.
I have yet to have an oyster in 2024, I think. I need to have one.
It's
craving
been a minute. I have not had an oyster in quite some time.
I think the next time oysters are available on the menu in front of me, I think I'm going to try to make myself a little desirable to Gwyneth Paltrow and hop in there.
Yeah. What would you put on here as your last little like kind of like cheeky? Does he or she like? Blank?
Is it food? Just food?
Yeah.
Pickles?
No, it doesn't have to be food.
I think if it's food, it's pickles.
Okay.
Like.
But
honestly,
isn't there like a How I Met Your Mother thing or something that's like
Olives.
Okay.
The one person in a relationship likes them and the other
Hates them. And then I found out later in the series that was a complete lie.
See, pickles for me are food.
Yeah.
Pickles for me are a food that have a lot of levels to it.
Yeah.
You know, like there's pickle flavored things. There's several different pickle brands that vary so greatly.
Right.
That like I have certain pickle heads in my life. Pickle heads of note that I can name right now just off the top of my head. Shout out Landry. Shout out Ray. Like that's just my pickle squad. When I see something on the timeline, I'm just firing them pickle content all the time. And I think that I could fall in love with a real pickle head eventually in life if Sally decides to leave me. when I buy a bunch of Jerry Garcia Beanie Babies with our retirement to park it in there.
Yeah.
Damn it! Why didn't I? I should have parked my. I'm gonna next. Did I tell you what happened with my last auction?
No. What auction for what?
They put another pack of Jerry Garcia cigarettes up for auction.
Okay.
The first pack went for $1,000.
These were his cigarettes?
Yeah, his pack of cigarettes.
How do we know?
Because they had like a bunch of memorabilia, and there was a case of cigarettes that he had in a guitar case that he had.
Okay.
And they sold one pack. It sold for $1,000. The guy that bought them somehow had someone that followed me on Twitter, and I was like, "Please just mail me one." And he's like, "No." He's like, "I'm opening them and smoking them, but I'm not mailing you one." But they put another one up for sale, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to track this because I would love to buy this as a bit and piss somebody off, not naming them." And it's my wife, and. They sold for about half the price the next time around. And I was like, okay, I like the way that this is going. The resale value of Jerry Garcia's cigarettes are going down, and I'm going to play the market now. And so just keep an eye out. If everyone goes on, if anyone sees any out there, hit your boy up. Can we talk about the Dr. Pepper Margarita?
Of course.
I don't think this is a drink of the summer, Barrett. This is the dumbest drink I've seen yet. It's just literally making a margarita normally and topping it off with, is this just a Dr. Pepper ranch water?
Yes, pretty. No, it's what it says it is. It's a Dr. Pepper margarita because it has the triple sec and the simple syrup. So it's in that way it's slightly more than a ranch water.
Let me ask you a question that I think needs asking.
Yeah.
Does a margarita need 23 flavors added to it?
I hear where you're coming from. The aesthetic of this video is so nice, and this drink ends up looking so good.
I know
that I'm kind of getting sold on this one.
Do you like Dr. Pepper?
I do.
Where does it is it in your top echelon? Like those lists that everyone makes that's like elite. Like where would it fall in that list for you?
It definitely used to be my number one soda. Like absolutely. Now it's been like close to 2 decades since I was really like a soda connoisseur.
Yeah.
And I still like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
So I would put it, I think I would still put it in that elite tier.
I would too.
Along with like maybe like a Orange Crush and Barks Root Beer or something like that.
See, I'm just a Coca-Cola Classic guy.
Yeah.
If you got a lime, I will take it.
Yeah.
But the heart wants what it wants, and a lot of the time it wants Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. This is also tapping into something that I've been thinking about. Another drink that I have not had in some time that I intend to bring back this summer at some point is a Cuba Libre.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
One of my all-time favorites. And it's not dissimilar to this drink, right?
Could a drink of the summer ever contain soda or pop or soft drink, whatever you want to call it? Is that even in the realm of possibility at this point? Or is America is this generation so anti-sugar that
I don't want to rule it out. I'm not
Okay.
going to rule it out.
Okay.
I think it's an uphill climb. But I'm not ruling it out.
I would probably try this. Do you ever doctor your margaritas? Like I have become a margarita snob. When I'm not in a city in Texas and margaritas are on the menu, I usually don't order them, even though I love margaritas.
Right. Just
simply because I've become that Texas snob. Do you ever doctor your margaritas whenever you order them at restaurants? You know, a lot of people do, you know, some strawberry in there, maybe a sangria swirl, things of that nature.
Yeah, at Matt's El Rancho on the frozen margarita, I do like a sangria dot or a sangria swirl. That used to be my go-to. I'm now so fully committed to the tahini rim on my margaritas that I've kicked the sangria dot to the curb.
What caused that vibe shift? That's that goes from being very sweet to very spicy.
I like the reduction in I like the little kick. I just like I just love the little you know,
for beard issues,
that little jump on it, that little boost.
For beard issues, I've avoided the tahini.
Okay. Are you a no salt guy on your
I'm
margaritas?
A salt guy.
Okay.
I like getting the salt, but I've avoided the tahini just because like I just don't. It seems more out of control for me, and maybe I just need to give it a go.
At Brett's birthday party the other week, I spent the most I've spent at a bar, just slamming back tahini rimmed Lalo ranch waters. I have not spent that much at a bar in probably 6 or 7 years.
I got a notification.
I don't know what they were charging me for them, but maybe it was a lot. But
I got a notification to my phone the next morning that let me know that they'd closed my tab out for me. Thank you, Meanut Cat. And I immediately blurred my eyes, cleared that notification, and never looked back because I did not want to know what that bar tab was. I know it wasn't out of control, but I get the feeling that I'm in the same boat. I don't think I haven't posted up like that and ordered drinks.
Yes.
And then ordered drinks for other people like that. Like I felt like I was in college again. It was great.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. Good time.
Let's do some articles of interest. We probably could have made this a whole segment talking about Team USA. It's Olympic time. Dylan made a point the other day. He's like, I feel like the Olympics have not been marketed as much lately as in the past.
Then Dylan is not watching the same TV that I am.
I don't think I'm watching the same TV.
They will not shut the fuck up about the
See,
Olympics.
I don't feel like I'm watching the same TV as you either because I'm not seeing much, but I'm also not watching that much TV lately. That's not on demand.
And we did just talk off mic before the pod started that you were not paying much attention to the U.S. Open this weekend, which was on NBC.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure. I'm actually pretty sure that they cared way more about the ads for the Olympics than they did the coverage of the U.S.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I would bet that. Yeah. I missed so much of Sunday that any commercial that I saw I ended up forwarding through because I was watching. I started rewinding a little bit.
But yeah, you know, I'd be having like the weakest link on, whole bunch of NBC stuff.
Goodbye.
You know, I'll throw Jimmy Fallon on late if there's nothing else on. So
I always forget you're a Fallon head.
Yeah, it's worn thin. I'm now nostalgic for Jimmy Fallon.
Okay.
The show, his current show, the current iteration of the Tonight Show. It's a tough hang. It's kind of a tough hang.
I'm not souring on SNL, even though so many people do. But I missed more episodes last season than I've missed in the last like 10 years. And I'm kind of bummed about that for myself.
Yeah.
I still haven't even seen the Elordi episode.
Wow. That's
sorry. I panicked.
Randy heard Elordi.
He threw the gong off the table.
He got so flustered that it was out of nowhere that he had to reach for the thing and just absolutely blasted the gong off the table.
Yeah,
I gotta think that has something to do with a relatively new child in your life.
Yeah, and honestly, for a long time, most of what I do when I watch SNL these days is simply watch the first skit, fast forward, monologue, fast forward, see if there's any skits that might appear to be entertaining. Mm-hmm. But usually I go straight to, if I'm watching it on demand, I usually go straight to Weekend Update and do that. And then I go to, if I didn't watch it live, I will go to their YouTube and I will just see which are the most viewed, and then I'll go down from there.
Yeah.
But I'll agree with Will. Like the social media marketing has not been much for the Olympics.
For Olympics, okay.
Like I feel like when I open up TikTok, it should be that first thing that I open up. Like Bad Boys was like a couple weeks ago.
The names that from previous Olympics aren't being funneled to my brain yet, like they were. Like I got Katie Ledecky in there. I don't have much after that. Like I need to start being like, oh, I forgot about blah blah blah. I forgot about that.
Well, part of it might be that the trials are still going on. Several times this weekend and late this past week, they whatever show would end, and they'd be like, all right, now to Indianapolis for the swimming trials, or to wherever for the track and field. So like we're pretty sure I think Katie Ledecky actually punched her ticket this past weekend, but prior to that, she wasn't actually like guaranteed to be at the Olympics yet. So I think maybe you'll start seeing that like quite a ramp up.
See a lot of Phelps.
Yeah. But yeah,
obviously he's not. I know he's not in the Olympics, but I'm just saying they're using him.
Retail therapy adjacent news from this week was that Ralph Lauren has debuted the ceremonial looks for both the opening and closing ceremonies. This is one of my favorite things about the Olympics is seeing how Ralph is going to kit the squad out.
Oh, do you look more forward to his kits for summer or winter?
So I'm going to say winter because how could I not? Yeah. Right. And I've got a little link here. My all-time favorite just garment is actually a quite recent one. It's from 2018 when when he did the full-on fringe Dumb and Dumber leather gloves. Like this is one of my favorite things. This is just like I need a pair of these at some point.
Should we have bought these for you for your bachelor party and presented them to you on the mountain? Like that's a huge miss from us. That's a huge miss.
So yeah, the winter stuff is always really fun. But yeah, we've got some really kind of classic looks for the opening ceremony. The denim with the very kind of preppy piped blazer, and then for the closing ceremonies, we're going very nautical, very sailing oriented with white pants and a very graphic and heavily emblazoned white sailing jacket. So it's pretty sweet. I think this is if you're an athlete, you've made the Olympic team. Look, chances are nobody's watching your sport. How many people are tuning into fencing, right?
Yeah.
But like you do get kitted out by Ralph. So
I'm into the windbreaker.
The windbreaker is pretty nice.
I like a windbreaker. I have no use in life for a windbreaker, but I like a windbreaker. I like a heavily embroidered piece of clothing. It's just great.
Yeah, most of this stuff is, they sell it, but like it's not super wearable. But it is. The U.S. is very, very frequently. Thank you to Ralph Lauren, the best looking group of athletes at the opening and closing ceremonies.
I'm trying to see. Didn't they release the? Pretty sure they released the skate shoe for the U.S. athletes.
So that would have been Nike, right?
I think it would have been Nike. Yes.
And they did a breakdancing shoe as well.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
I did not see the breakdancing shoe.
Breakdancing, a new Olympic sport this summer. And there's a Nike specific breakdancing shoe.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they're all in on this kind of this is very similar to the skate shoe.
Yeah. And let me stop you. Let me just stop you right there, because it must be said, like if you are going to try to do a head spin, do not try to do it without these shoes.
No.
Don't even try.
No, I can't even imagine doing it.
Yeah.
The skate shoes, I really like them. I just don't think I could ever. There's no time where I would have them in my closet and think, "Yep, that's the day for these." But I do think they're sweet, and I'm excited that our team's going to look good.
Yeah, they will. They will look.
That's one qualifying that I need to pay attention to if it hasn't already gone on. I would love to do it. I don't know.
What's next?
Let's see. I got too many tabs open. I feel like you.
How about the Saltburn vinyl?
Let's do Saltburn vinyl. I've got big news. I saw this last week on the timeline. Saltburn soundtrack. They have released it on vinyl, and they have a version that is filled with bathwater. Not sure if it's actually a Lordy's bathwater. Be careful, Randy. Just be careful. Little time. There you go. Not sure if it's Lordy's bathwater, but the video has now been seen. I've seen it everywhere now. It's all over Reels. It's all over everything.
So is this? Have you ever seen this before? Have you ever seen a vinyl that is like a lava lamp going on?
I saw this, and ever since I saw this last week, I've seen 10 more.
Okay,
and so it must be something. It must be something that was not seen by me a lot, or it's just now on my radar.
And is this thing like a centimeter thick, or is
it's got to be thick?
Okay,
it's got to be thick.
Right?
Probably that 180 gram thickness.
This is opening up my eyes to a world of vinyl that I didn't even know was possible or that existed. But this type of, this has me. one more step, maybe two more steps closer to adopting the hobby.
This one's cool
because I didn't know they could be like this.
This is cool.
I didn't know they could do this.
This is cool. I sent a text to both Barrett and Sally after seeing this, and I said, do I need to buy this? Do I need to expense this for retail therapy purposes? Immediately got positive responses back from everybody. I cannot wait to get this thing in the mail. It's not going to be here until late September, probably early October. And but I told you, either way, I'm glad I have it because it's a great soundtrack.
It is. It's a good soundtrack.
Out of all the soundtracks I could own on vinyl, this is definitely one of the top ones. As long as it's not, here's the thing. I don't even know what's on it. Hopefully it's not like the scores, the original scores and stuff. Hopefully it's like actually MGMT and, all those bands that we used to listen to back in the day.
Right. That's a good question. Here's the,
oh yeah, we got it down there.
Is this the track list right here?
Yep.
I imagine you maybe get a little bit of both, but yes, you're definitely getting.
I mean, oh my God.
I can already tell you right now, you are getting Mr. Brightside. You're getting Time to Pretend by MGMT. You are, of course, being graced with Sophie Ellis-Bextor's Murder on the Dance Floor, among so many other greats. Block Party, Cold War Kids.
I was going to say, this hits all. Yeah. My rotation of listening for a long time was just MGMT, Block Party.
When this comes in September, I don't know what it is, but you're going to have a little, something.
Fine, I'll have a Saltburn party.
I'll
have a Saltburn party.
We just pop this bad boy on.
We're going to have.
And I knew this would sell out despite its pre-order status.
We between our living room and our kitchen, we have a bathroom that has a bathtub. I could fill it with murky cocktail and we could all just dip our glasses in.
Yeah, people would be super into that.
Yeah, okay, I'll put it on the calendar.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, keep an eye out, guys.
What do you think, Will? Should we dive into the restaurant matrix?
I don't know if we need to.
Or is this savable?
I don't know if we need to. Let's save it.
Because I'd like to do a little Austin,
I want to do some Austin research before we do it.
Austin prep.
Okay.
And I think this is pretty evergreen content.
Let me highlight this on here so we save it because I do want to talk about this, mainly because I'm just mainly looking forward to doing the Austin one.
Right.
Actually, if we do a good enough job with the Austin one, I'll actually make the matrix for Austin. Let's do wish list items.
Okay.
You go first.
So I'm bringing it back to the watch talk. Obviously, Will and I both spent some time after passing on the Noah Timex, looking around at Cartiers, and one of the nice things about them is that they are available in many different forms. There's a lot of inventory, so you can pop around the real. You can go vintage. You can go to eBay. Go to your local secondhand dealer. Or jeweler. They probably have a couple sitting there. But I don't want to spend four figures on a watch, especially as I'm kind of getting into this style. But I was very taken with the style, and I would like something. So I'm still looking. I'm open to any and all suggestions if listeners have some. But right now, what's kind of percolating at the top of the list is this Q 1978 watch from Timex. It's a black leather strap. I think that the bezel is a little thicker. It's a little more bulbous than I think is ideal, for the really kind of slim, low profile dress watch. But overall, I quite like this, and I think it's very handsome, and I like the green face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like a green face.
And the we're right in that kind of Noah Timex price point at $179. So I'm throwing it on the wish list, but I'm ready and willing to replace it with something even more up my alley. But this is what I'm putting on here this week.
I love a green watch face. Yeah, one of the first Rolexes that I saw where I was like, oh, maybe I could like a Rolex was a green face, silver everything. I don't know the model, but that was kind of that's what set the tone for me when I first started looking at watches. By the way, I did look it up. If you would like to buy a used pair of the Polo Ralph Lauren 2018 Team USA Olympic Pyeongchang gloves, it's going to cost you about $875.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they retailed for close to $1,000. So,
these ones are pretty beat up too. So if anyone's got any mint,
I need a NWT new with tags.
Yep. All right, mine is an item that is more of a placeholder and or inspiration as opposed to an actual purchase. It's a seersucker suit from Drake's. This is very similar, but probably a little darker than what you wore to the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, a little richer.
I'm not trying to mog, Barrett. I'm trying to pay tribute to your Kentucky Derby fit.
Thank you.
I have a wedding to go to later this year. My green linen suit has been worn enough at this point that it either needs to go away or get replaced, and I'm not ready to part ways with the green. which means that I'd like to maybe just replace it with a different fabric that maybe doesn't,
Okay.
Whatever. I love this from them. It's got a little blue hint inside of it. Like if you zoom in on it, it doesn't really translate on the screen as well as it does, or on our screen in the studio as it does other places. But it has like this little blue to it. I just like it. I haven't found anything that really moves the needle that is similar to this anywhere, but I'd like to. And I really just want to wear a nice suit because it's a family wedding. It's in Italy. I feel like I need to show up and show out, but I don't want to pay this much for it, so I'm not going to. And so I'd really like to figure out a way to get some sort of seersucker suit. If they still sold the one that you got, I would just straight up swagger jack you like I do with all things seersucker that you want. But it's time. I need a new suit. I got to do it before we leave in 2 months. And
it's really unfortunate that Drake's is so much more expensive in the U.S. than it is over there. Maybe.
Barrett, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You're totally correct.
Are you stopping through London?
The Premier League schedule came out this morning at 3 a.m. There are 2 games that are in London that are having me lick my chops. We've got Tottenham hosting Everton, and we have Crystal Palace hosting a West Ham team for a London derby. Maybe I should just pop by the Drake store before the match and pick up a little suit.
I don't know how quick they could do a little tailoring for you if you need the pants dialed in or the sleeves or something like that. I don't know, but I'm just that suit was the jacket. I don't think the pants are included. Was $1,200 on the US.
How many Great British pounds?
$795.
That doesn't equate, right?
I'm gonna tell you. So 795 pounds is $1,000 US.
Okay, so you're saving 2.
So you say, so that's a pretty big difference. Like that's a couple $100.
My friend Rosie in Edinburgh might be getting a text message from me soon asking for her to pull trig on something if it makes sense. Maybe I can just have her send it over to me. Can't cost that much. Man, if anyone's ever ordered something for Drake's or plans to, you'll be shocked by how fast you get your package from the UK. It is crazy. Like
it's a really weird environment right now where ordering from overseas, like Essence ships from Canada, for example, right? Mm-hmm. Or Matches, who's, RIP, but they used to ship from the UK as well. And you're getting your package in 48 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild stuff. But if anybody has any suit recommendations that are kind of like this, I need a suit that I can wear in hot weather. Both in Italy, where there's going to be no AC or anything like that. August gets warm, and obviously in Austin, Texas, it gets so hot. I don't want to do linen again. I'm kind of tired of the way that my linen's wrinkling. I'm tired of looking at it. I don't care how it looks because it's linen, but I'm tired of looking at it, and I think I'm ready to do a darker seersucker move and get influenced by our friend Barrett over here.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. I'll keep my eyes peeled.
All right. That's all she wrote for this week. Do we have any programming notes we need to think about?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
We'll be in touch because we'll just go sign up retailpod.substack.com and we'll let you know.
Come see Will and I in Chicago.
Yes. Randy and I will be in Chicago. We're doing a little circling back Wash Media meetup thing with Muggsy over there. They're partnering with us as well. So if you're in Chicago in 2 weeks, we'll be at the Muggsy store on Armitage from 5 to 7 on Friday. The 28th, Randy? 29th?
28th is the Friday, 29th is the Saturday. We'll be at Sluggers in Wrigleyville.
Yes, we're going to Wrigleyville. We're going to be just hanging out at Sluggers and just hoping to meet some listeners and hang out and have some fun. Maybe we'll even go to a second location. I will do one shot.
That.
I know. We know Barrett loves a second location. All right. See you guys later.